Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wake Up, your rundown of the entertainment, media biz, and tech stories to know on Tuesday, January 7th, 2020. Brought to you by the freshest Colombian coffee you can get, Devoción Coffee. In today's Wake Up, recent Golden Globe winner Patricia Arquette announces her next project. Director James Mangold chooses Bob Dylan for his next movie. Amazon Fire overtakes Roku, and Gwyneth's Goop comes to Netflix with the trailer for something called The Goop Lab.
So what happens in a workshop?
Everyone gets off.
What the fuck are you doing to people?
And yes, that was very popular on Twitter yesterday. But now let's kick off in Hollywoodland. A bunch of new project announcements yesterday. We'll start off with Ford vs. Ferrari director James Mangold, who has lined up his next project at Fox Searchlight. He's staying with the whole 1960s thing to direct a Bob Dylan biopic, focusing on when Dylan went electric, with Timothée Chalamet playing Dylan. The film is looking to shoot in the second half of the year with active participation from Dylan, and his manager is also a producer on the project as well. Newly minted Golden Globe winner Patricia Arquette is reteaming with director Ben Stiller for his Apple TV thriller series called Severance, according to Deadline. Arquette will star as Adam Scott's boss at a company that is, quote, looking to take work-life balance to new levels. Sounds provocative. Stiller's Red Hour and frequent Apple TV partner Endeavor Content are producing. The Office co-creator and fellow tall person Stephen Merchant is bringing his next series to Amazon Prime and the BBC, according to The Hollywood Reporter. It has a working title of The Offenders and focuses on 7 strangers brought together to finish respective community service duties. The series will have 6 episodes in true British TV fashion, and to note, Amazon only has the show in the US, Canada, and Australia. Director Rian Johnson told The Hollywood Reporter that he's already developing a sequel to Knives Out, which he hopes to shoot this year. It'll put Daniel Craig's detective character in an entirely new scenario. The $40 million Knives Out has taken in $247 million worldwide thus far, so one would think Lionsgate's pretty open to taking a look at that script when it's ready. Disney Fox dropped the new trailer for the long-delayed X-Men movie, The New Mutants, which focuses on a new younger generation of X-Men who are put into what looks like kind of a horror movie setting. The link is down in today's show notes. Fox first debuted footage from the film back in 2017, but it's since been delayed by reshoots and release date postponements, but it looks like it'll hit theaters this year on April 3rd. Former New York Giants wide receiver Victor Cruz is joining the E! Network as the third co-host for their new daily 11 a.m. Pop of the Morning show. He last played for the Giants in 2016 and officially retired in 2018 after his knee never fully recovered from a season-ending injury. And wrapping up here, Peacock's Saved by the Bell reboot has cast Josie Tota in the lead role, playing a sharp-tongued cheerleader and most popular girl at Bayside High. Tota previously starred in the Mindy Kaling-produced series Champions at NBC. Mario Lopez and Elizabeth Berkley, Slater and Jesse, are both reprising their roles for the reboot, which is created by 30 Rock writer and Good News creator Tracy Wakefield.
Hi, you're new here. I'm Zach Morris.
And I'm Roger Rabbit, so what?
Moving on up to Silicon Valley. Doesn't seem like there's too much coming out of CES in Vegas just yet, other than toilet paper robots and TV screens that rotate. But in actual news, Reuters reports that Amazon's Fire TV streaming service now has 40 million active global users. This puts Amazon Fire TV ahead of industry pioneer Roku, who last reported about 32 million users in November. And it also keeps Amazon Fire TV well ahead of devices like Google's Chromecast and Apple TV. The black box thing you connect to your TV, not the streaming service called Apple TV Plus, which really has nothing to do with the streaming boxes. Man, for a company obsessed with branding, it's really still baffling why they made this so confusing. And I'm not quite sure where to put this one, but as it mainly involves Instagram TV, I'm just going to slide it in here. Michelle Obama is partnering with online publisher Attention, or ATTN, but pretty sure we call that Attention. Anyway, they're partnering on a new monthly series for Instagram TV. It's called A Year of Firsts and will document the lives of college freshmen. The first episode, which I assume will feature Mrs. Obama as a presenter of some sort, will go up sometime this month, although in this day and age, not quite sure why people don't time these announcements to when you can actually, go and watch it now, but put that on your unspecified January calendar. Up next, the media biz. With New York City losing one of its free daily newspapers, some moves in fashion media, and more potential changes at Sports Illustrated. But first, the Wake Up is brought to you by Devotion Coffee. Now, if you're having your morning cup of coffee, you may know it's freshly roasted. A lot of people print that on their bags. But what you don't know is when those coffee beans were picked off the trees. Depending upon the origin, that can be as much as 6 to 9 months. And we all know that coffee is better when it's fresh, and there's no fresher coffee you can get than Devotion Coffee. Devotion FedExes freshly picked beans from the mountains of Colombia every week to their headquarters in Brooklyn, freshly roasts them, and puts it in your coffee cup, often within just 2 weeks' time. They have 4 locations in New York, but if you live in LA, San Francisco, or anywhere, you can sign up for their subscription plan and they'll send you beans as often as you want. Every week, every 3 weeks. I'm more of a 2-week kind of guy, whatever you need. Go to devotion.com/wakeup and get 15% off your first order. That's Devotion, DEVOCION.com/wakeup. Get 15% off on me. Well, on Devotion, but it's kind of for me. Get yours today. And now the latest from the media biz. NFL ratings continued their surge this season with the weekend's wildcard games up 7% versus last year, averaging over 30 million viewers. It's the most watched wildcard weekend since 2016. And also over at the Golden Globes, ratings for this year's show were basically even from last year at 18.3 million viewers. Although having a 30 million plus NFL playoff lead-in certainly doesn't hurt. While we're at it on the awards circuit, the Writers Guild released their best screenplay nominations. There's a link in the show notes here if inclined. Add Sports Illustrated to the list of publications whose staff is looking to unionize. The Washington Post reports that more than 90% of union-eligible employees, the ones still left at SI, signed a petition supporting unionization. Employees at Hearst are actively looking to do the same, something that Hearst management is currently trying to dissuade, I think is the word we're looking for here. For our New York City listeners, you are losing a free daily newspaper today. The New York Post reports that the owner of AM New York has purchased competitor Metro New York. So as of today, you'll have just one free daily newspaper to read on your morning commute. Once you've listened to this podcast, of course. The new hybrid paper will creatively be called AM New York Metro. That had to be a short meeting. The new owner will also be upping distribution to around 175,000 daily copies. A couple of moves in the fashion media world. Former W and New York Times T Style magazine editor Stefano Tanchi has signed on to his next gig, according to WWD. He's now the chief creative officer at L'Officiel. Man, my French is not good. Which is nearly a 100-year-old French fashion publication. Tanchi is still in active litigation with Condé Nast about his exit from W last year. And over at Bustle, WWD also reports that newly installed lifestyle editor-in-chief Emma Rosenblum has brought over Tiffany Reed as fashion director across Bustle's brands, including Nylon, Romper, and Elite Daily. The pair previously worked together at Hearst, where Reed was style director for their fashion group. And just a couple of quick reminders, the Winter TCA, or Television Critics Association gathering, starts today in Pasadena. Fox takes the stage first to share their latest happenings, and I'm sure there'll be some Masked Singer talk as well. And Jeopardy's Tournament of Champions begins tonight at 8 p.m. on ABC, although sadly Rosie Perez will not be taking part.
This volcano's eruption buried the city of Pompeii in 79 A.D. Gloria.
What is Mount Vesuvius?
Ooh, I better get a ruling on that one. Our judges indicate that that's close enough.
And finally, Lizzo announced yesterday that she's quitting Twitter because, well, come on, she's Lizzo. She's got better things to do. That's a wrap for today. Remember, you can get links to all stories mentioned here in the podcast show notes. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you all tomorrow.